Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Manfrotto Advanced Active Backpack 3, which is a really interesting minimal camera and everyday bag. I'd always heard great things about Manfrotto's bags and products in the past, but I'd never really thought about trying them as they seem to be a little bit more geared towards advanced photographers that need to carry multiple expensive lenses and cameras, and it's just more than what I would normally carry on my day-to-day. I have a very simple camera setup. But I was pretty intrigued when I saw this bag, as it seemed to offer just enough space for the gear that I normally need to carry with me, some nice protection and organization for tech and EDC items, and I also liked that it had a pretty understated look, which to me is pretty important in a camera backpack. So in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience using this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, and I'll talk about how this compares to some of the other minimal camera bags that we featured on the channel. Before jumping into the video, I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. This is a pretty simple and minimalist kind of tech bag vibe. There's not a whole lot going on the exterior, and I like that it doesn't scream that it's a camera bag. It's pretty subtle, so it doesn't make it super obvious that you might be carrying some expensive gear. And because the exterior is pretty minimal, it does feel like it's going to blend into many different environments, whether you're exploring the city or taking this into the office. As far as the materials, the bag is made out of a synthetic material. That's what's listed on Manfrotto's site. To me, it feels kind of like a nylon, maybe not quite ballistic nylon, but still pretty rugged. Seems like it's going to offer a nice amount of weather resistance, and the bag also includes a rain cover to give you some extra peace of mind if you get caught in a heavier downpour. And then it also has some nice YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, on the front you have the blacked out Manfrotto logo, which I really like. It's pretty subtle, it blends in nicely into the exterior, and then at the bottom you have a little loop where you're going to be able to attach something like a bike light. At the top of the bag you also have a nice carrying handle. This has a decent amount of padding. It's pretty comfortable. Even though this is a smaller bag, it's good to see that it's a fairly robust handle so that you can pick this up or carry the bag fairly comfortably. And then on the outside you have pockets on each side. On one side you have kind of a slip pocket that offers a nice amount of depth, but it's really tight. It doesn't have a ton of elasticity, so I don't see myself storing a water bottle in here, especially when the bag is a little bit more packed out. You can see that it just doesn't come out a lot. This might be a good spot to put something like your phone, maybe some documents, or you might be able to hook in the leg of a tripod to just kind of hold it in place. At the top on this side you also have this clip at the top, which is going to pair nicely with something a little bit taller to help secure it to the bag. And then on the other side you have a compartment that's a little bit more elastic. This was able to hold the same 20-ounce water bottle that I've used in a lot of my other daily bag videos. It was a pretty tight fit, even though this is elastic. It really pressed up tightly against the inside of the bag, so I don't think anything thicker than those 20 ounces is going to work. Maybe something even smaller would be a little bit better just for the longevity of this compartment. It's kind of an elastic mesh material, which does give you some flexibility and a decent amount of depth, but again, if you place anything too thick in here, I could see this maybe start to tear over a longer period of time. Moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 13 liters, which is definitely a more minimal daily bag size. But even with that smaller size, I was surprised with how much it was able to hold. I was able to fit the camera gear that I needed to pretty comfortably and still have some leftover space for other tech and everyday carry essentials. And the bag does stick out a little bit. It has a pretty rigid shape just due to the padding for the camera gear. But because of its smaller size, it still feels nimble enough to, use in a variety of environments, walking around the city and jumping onto public transit. One additional thing I want to call out about the capacity and the shape is that because it has that rigid shape and that padding and a pretty flat bottom, it does manage to stand up pretty well on its own so that you can reach down and grab whatever you need from the pockets. Taking a look at the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. These straps have a decent amount of padding. They're pretty soft and broken in right out of the box. And then on the inside you have this kind of soft material. It doesn't feel super breathable, but it does add a nice amount of comfort. And then these straps also have a good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. And you also have an adjustable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. As far as the back paneling, this has also been pretty comfortable. There's plenty of padding all throughout here. It's pretty rigid and thick. The material here, like the straps, doesn't feel super breathable, but I like that you have some elevation in the padding to create these air channels to provide you with some ventilation while you're walking around throughout the day. And then on the back paneling, you also have this nice luggage pass-through here, which is going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag keeps things pretty simple, but it's a nice, effective layout. The first pocket we're going to take a look at is this quick access pocket at the top that has a nice wide opening so you can grab whatever you need from the inside. There's a decent amount of volume here for any of the, slightly larger accessories that you might need to grab. So in my case, I stored my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case here, and then I also have a little tin with some Band-Aids and ointment, and then the last thing I have here tucked away is my Apple AirPods Pro. And then you have a few slip pockets in this compartment as well to just kind of keep everything from becoming too chaotic. These don't have elasticity, but they still offer a nice amount of space for any accessories that you might need to grab. So in this one here on the right, I have a lightning cable with power brick to charge my iPhone, and then I also have a portable battery here on the left. The next area that we're going to be taking a look at is what I would call kind of the primary storage compartment, separate from the camera area. So the bag is divided into two kind of primary sections that is split almost down the middle here. So we're going to take a look at this top section, which is where I would store the everyday carry items that I would want that don't include the camera gear. And so, this is a top loading bag, but it opens up widely enough for you to be able to see whatever you need to. I've packed this out pretty good, even with some extra stuff that I might not normally carry with me, just to kind of show the capacity. So first up here at the top, I have a little pouch from Nightcore, which is slightly padded, a good spot to hold, some of the more delicate accessories, hard drives, cameras, my GoPro, things like that. And then I have my Matador Nano Dry Shower Towel. Always like having a little towel with me, depending on the activities that I'm doing. That fit in there easily. And then the main thing that I stored in here is the Evergoods Civic Access Pouch, which I did an in-depth review on recently. If you want to check out how I've loaded it out, I've really enjoyed using this pouch a lot. One of the things that I called out on that video, however, is that it is pretty big and bulky, so using it with a bag like this means it's going to take up a pretty decent amount of capacity, but it is also able to hold most of the stuff that I would typically have distributed across a few different pouches. So nice trade-off there. Really love this pouch, and it's able to fit comfortably into this section. So now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. I like that it has the gray lining to give you a little bit of contrast, so it's not just a black compartment, and you can get a feel for how much space you have here. You could toss in a jacket, a change of clothes, a lunchbox, depending on what you need to carry with you. It's still going to give you some nice flexibility. And then you can actually remove the floor of this compartment if you take out all of the camera dividers that we'll take a look at in a little bit, and you just want to use this as a normal everyday bag, you can do so. So that's a really nice amount of flexibility. And then on the inside, you do have a little bit of internal organization. You have two kind of elastic mesh slip pockets, which are going to be great for any tech or smaller accessories that you need to carry with you, a phone, or in my case, I have my Apple Magic Mouse in this one here. And then next to that, I just tossed in a little manicure set that I normally like to carry with me. And then at the back of the compartment, you actually have a padded laptop sleeve. The implementation here is interesting, just given how much this lip comes up on the bag. It can be a little bit tricky to get into the laptop area. You do have this Velcro strap here, which is going to help keep it secure. And then to get into the compartment, you have to pull this flap up. It is nice that this comes up enough to allow you to sneak the laptop in and out. It's easier than it could have been, but it can still get tricky to get the laptop in and out, especially if you have a larger laptop. I think this should hold a 15-inch MacBook Pro. It will be a pretty tight squeeze. I have a 13-inch in here. You can see there's leftover space at the top, but again, the experience of getting it in and out of the bag might be a little uncomfortable if you have a larger laptop. The sleeve itself, though, offers a decent amount of padding. You can see that it's fairly thick, and it's not suspended off the bottom of the ground, but it does have padding at the bottom that makes me feel like my device is going to be protected when I place my bag down. And so pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. So no sort of fleece lining, but you do have good padding on both sides. It comes up a decent amount, so if you have a thicker device, you might be able to squeeze it in. It's not a super slim compartment. It's just mainly this top kind of lip area here that's going to make it a little tricky to get your device in and out. But regardless, if you don't need to get your device out quickly during the day. If you just need a secure and padded area to carry it around, this is going to do the job pretty well. The last area we're going to be taking a look at is the camera compartment, which has some nice organization and protection for your gear. As far as accessing this compartment, you don't have any sort of side access area to be able to grab your camera while you're wearing the backpack, but I still like the implementation of this zipper. It's a pretty wide opening, so you still have plenty of visibility to grab any of the accessories that you might want to when you place your bag down to take some shots or some video. And so on the inside, you have a pretty standard kind of camera cube layout with adjustable dividers that are very protective and flexible. The items that I currently stored in here are some of the other kind of camera focused items, such as a GoPro, a drone that I would normally carry with me. You can also see in the footage how I might organize this for my mirrorless camera. And so just really like the flexibility and capacity offered here. I'll dive through the items that I have really quickly. You have, again, just dividers, larger dividers. These red ones have a little bit more padding, and then you have these gray ones, which are flexibility and just give you an ability to kind of divide these larger sections depending on what you might need. So at the top here, I have my GoPro Hero 3 Plus. Then below that, I have my DJI Mavic Mini remote control. In the main compartment at the moment, I have the drone with its hard shell case. It fits in there really comfortably. And then in the last section here, I have an extra battery and charger for my camera. And then down at the bottom, I have the rain cover that's included with the bag for whenever there's a little bit of heavier rain. I can whip this out quickly and throw it on. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, for me, I don't carry a ton of actual camera gear with multiple lenses, but you do have the space here to hold them. These dividers feel well protected. They have this soft kind of lining on the inside, which feels like it's going to help prevent against scratching. And then you can adjust these dividers however you need to create the layout that works best for you based on what you're carrying. And then you can actually remove them all if you just want to use this as a normal compartment. You can take all of these dividers out, then you just have a large bucket of space. If you're using this as a gym bag, maybe you can use it to separate out your shoes in a shoe pouch or your clothing. And then, with the ability to remove the floor of the top compartment. If you're carrying some taller accessories and you don't want to use this as a camera bag on a particular day, you can take full advantage of the volume and just use it that way. So I really love the layout and flexibility offered throughout the bag. It's a really effective layout in my opinion. Feels really durable, and if you're looking for a simple and smaller camera bag that's going to offer plenty of protection for all of your gear and accessories, and that's going to offer a nice amount of comfort, then this is going to be a great option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Advanced Active Backpack 3 over the past couple of weeks, and you can currently purchase this on Manfrotto's site or sites such as B&H for about $110, which to me feels like a pretty reasonable price considering the features and build quality that this has to offer, and it also compares well to other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Brevity Jumper Photo Backpack, which we featured on the channel and has been one of my favorite minimal camera backpacks just because it has an aesthetic that doesn't look like a camera backpack at all. It just looks like a normal classic backpack, but it has a great flexible organizational layout for your camera. You can access it in various ways. It has straps to hold a tripod, a laptop compartment, water bottle pocket, so it really covers all the bases for what I would want out of a backpack. And it comes in at a pretty similar price point. I actually think that the quality on this bag is going to be a little bit higher. It offers some extra weather resistance, but if you're looking for something that has less of a techie vibe and it's also going to give you maybe a little bit more space, and that's going to be a great option to take a look at. The next item this made me think of is the Moment camera backpack that's part of their travel wear collection. I absolutely love that bag as it works equally well as a daily bag and as a camera backpack. It has a removable camera cube that's very protective, flexible, super simple for somebody like me. And I love that you can just take that out. The bag itself offers plenty of space. I really love the simple organizational layout that it has. It has a laptop compartment and it has just a very minimal aesthetic, which to me feels almost like an Evergoods backpack. So that definitely appeals to me. Now that's not as much of a traditional camera bag, I would say, as this. It doesn't have the same level of rigidity all throughout the bag. So if that's important to you, then you might want to stick with this one. But if you're looking for a backpack that's going to give you a little bit more flexibility for use as an EDC backpack or a camera bag, then that's going to be one of the best options that you can check out. The next bag this made me think of is the Boundary Supply Errant Pack, which to me is one of the best EDC bags of the past couple of years. It's just super comfortable, very well built. You get a ton of great features, organizational options, and Boundary has a really nice ecosystem of modular camera accessories that pair with their bag, so you can snap in a protective camera cube that allows you to grab the camera from the top. And so for me, as somebody who's not a hardcore photographer and likes bags that are flexible, that Boundary Supply Errant Pack really just offers kind of the best of both worlds. I can take out the camera accessories when I don't want to use them. They also have their Prima system, which is maybe a little bit better if you're looking for a camera bag that's going to provide you quicker access to the bag or you need a little bit more space. But both bags are going to offer just great build quality, tons of comfort, and if you're looking for really versatile and durable bags, then those are going to be some great options to keep in mind. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Wander Duo Day Pack, which is a fantastic minimal tech and camera backpack. It has a ton of weather resistance. I really love all the organizational options that are included in that bag. Comes in at a pretty slim 20-liter size. It's able to hold more than enough for your day-to-day. And it's another bag that's going to be great for a simpler camera layout. It has a built-in pop-up camera cube. You have full access on both sides of the bag. They have the infinite zipper, which allows you to reach in and grab whatever you need. It has some protective slip pockets for things such as lenses. So it's just a really well-balanced bag. And then if you don't want to use it for camera gear, it works great in that respect as well. It's going to keep all of your stuff very dry. It's comfortable to wear, very versatile. It is going to come in at a little bit of a higher price range than this bag, but if you're looking for something with a more modern look, maybe a little bit more weather resistance, and that's going to be a fantastic option to keep in mind. With that being said, the Advanced Active Backpack 3 holds up really well against those bags, and if you're interested in a daily bag that's going to offer a nice amount of organization and protection for your camera gear while still maintaining a more understated look, and it's not going to be that big, then it's going to be a fantastic bag to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Advanced Active Backpack 3 and how it compares to some of the other great camera bags that are currently on the market. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.